So I'm a nursing student at the University of Nevada, Reno. I got into the nursing program in January of 2019, was supposed to graduate May of 2020, but during the whole pandemic and COVID-19 situation, I just had some personal things happen to where I was not able to graduate on time. So I'm still in nursing school and I will hopefully be graduating this December of 2020.
Tito, and I'm a nursing student at Orbis School of Nursing at University of Nevada, Reno. I've been in nursing school for, I think, like 11 months. No, not 11 months. I have 11 months left. I've been in it for about 6 months. So 2 semesters. I'm almost done with my second semester, so I have 2 more.
Michelle Helbig. I graduated from UNR this past May of 2020, and I am a registered nurse.
My name is Shayna Young. I am a new grad nurse. I just graduated in May, and I am working at Renown right now.
And about a month before I was supposed to do it, the person who I'd never even met, I didn't know their name, I didn't get anything, was too sick. I was too immunocompromised that even bone marrow donation would not help. And I was devastated. And I was like, all I wanted to do was help. All I wanted to do was to do something that would impact somebody else's life in a positive way. And it didn't happen. So I think nursing is one of the best ways to positively impact somebody else's life.
Before college, even when I wanted to be a nurse, I felt like I really wanted to just be a part of people's lives when they were going through difficult times. And so I feel like now I still want to be that person that helps others and like use what I can, my knowledge, my skills in the community to help others. But I feel like after experiencing a little bit of nursing, it's more like really doing my part, even if that goes unnoticed.
I don't know like what really like started it. It kind of started in high school. I started doing some health classes and just kind of really liked it. I really like helping people and actually like feeling like I have it something to contribute, because I think a lot of times something happens in your family or otherwise and you just feel kind of helpless because you don't really understand what's going on. So it's kind of nice to actually be able to be in there and to help people and to like have a purpose, you know.
Actually did a trip abroad to Africa this summer, and I worked in clinicals and with the doctors and stuff, and kind of got to see like what that was like. And I was like, this is something I want to do the rest of my life, like just keep doing humanitarian work.
So all of our lectures went online, which was pretty okay. It was the lecture slides that they had posted online. I think the biggest challenge was the clinicals, like our clinical hour experiences were no longer in person. And personally, I'm a kinesthetic learner. I'm a hands-on learner. So not being in the hospital to actually be assessing patients, giving meds, doing the charting, it didn't really help. So they gave us like case studies where we would speculate as to what we think we'd hear and what we think is going on, but it wasn't the full hands-on learning.
It didn't really change much for my level because we had already gotten our base knowledge. The last 6 weeks of nursing school for us were really like solidifying what we've learned. So we're pretty lucky to have been through nursing school already, and all of our foundations were already pretty much built. We just had to, solidify them.
I'm sitting there all day at the computer and like I lose my mind a little bit. So that's kind of hard. It's like it's nicer when I felt like I was going somewhere. I go to class, I could engage with the professors and with the students, and so that's just a different dynamic in general. It's not easy to sit around all day. I think that's like the hardest thing, more mentally taxing than anything, and that's for me personally. I'm not very good at sitting around a house all day, but it's adjustment, and we gotta learn how to adjust, and everybody's affected by it. So we're all just trying to get through it one way or another.
So they change each semester of nursing school. So like the first semester of nursing school, we had 3 classes that were 3 hours each, Monday and Wednesday. And then Tuesday we'd have our skills lab, so that's going into like a simulation and working on our dexterity and our skills. And we also had an assessment lab, which was an hour to practice our assessments so that we could perform them in the hospital. And then one day a week we would go in the hospital for 12 hours. And so that was all of our assigned hours, which now that I think about it is quite a few hours. And then outside of school, I probably would put 20 hours, 25 hours in the library, just writing out notes, making flashcards, studying, and then that's about it. Nursing school.
I probably spend, for one class, I'll spend about 20 hours a week, including like homework and class itself. Kind of depends on the class, but I put a lot of time in for sure.
So, like you have your college credits. So like we take nurse 453, which is a lecture class, and then we take nurse 454, which is our practicum, where we go into the hospital. So it's a 5-credit class. We pay for that 5-credit class to go into the hospital.
There's you and 7 other students in your clinical faculty, and we go to the hospital and we get paired up with another nurse that's working on the floor that day, and we follow them, we help with different skills, we learn a lot of how to be a nurse, how to time manage, how to do all these different skills and stuff by following another nurse. And every nurse does their job differently, but the same. So it's like picking up different skills from different nurses, how they do this, and like taking what you like, leaving what you don't. So it's a lot of learning by observing and then practicing yourself. But everything that you practice in clinical, it goes towards the kind of nurse you're going to be.
In clinicals right now. So I was supposed to be in clinicals for 12 hours every Thursday and Friday throughout this semester. Unfortunately, I'm only able to get 6 hours a week in, so on Thursdays, but I'm lucky to even have 6 hours a week and just trying to take advantage of that. Definitely not, 12 hours, 2 12-hour shifts, so we're missing out on a lot of clinical time, but it's better than nothing. And even the 6 hours makes a huge difference, because for 3 months we didn't have any clinicals, and even just being back in clinicals for the 6 hours that we are each week, it's like my experience and my skills have just improved tremendously, because it makes such a difference being able to get hands-on with patients.
That last part of clinical was kind of like, I don't know, it was a little nerve-wracking, but I had an internship at the hospital, and so that really helped because I was still able to work. Even though I wasn't going to clinicals, I was going to work a couple times a week and working 12-hour shifts as an intern. And so I was able to get that experience. But if I hadn't had that, I probably wouldn't feel like as confident as I did coming out, because I think that is like some critical clinical hours that we could have had. And if I didn't have that, I'd probably be a lot more stressed and kind of like nervous about not knowing what I was doing. But I had the internship on the same floor I got hired, and so it was just it was a little easier, I guess, to just go into that.
I'm not scared of going into the nursing profession. I think a lot of people who go into the nursing profession are doing it because they want to help people who are sick. It is a little concerning of becoming exposed and infected with it, but PPE and proper like hand washing and hygiene goes a long way. And I just want to help people. I don't think that it'll change my attitude about helping somebody who is sick.
To be honest, no. So I'm not scared. I wish I could be doing stuff now. So I think it's harder to be like, oh, I'm not done with nursing yet, so I can't do as much as I'd like to be doing. But hopefully I can make up for it when I am a nurse.
Going into nursing, it's not like you're jumping out of a plane without a parachute. You have a lot of support. You have your charge nurses and your supervisors and other nurses on the floor, and you go through a really long orientation phase. And so I felt very like supported and guided by all the nurses on my floor that were helping me. So it was more scary thinking about it, and then once I started working, it was less scary because it was like, okay, I can do this. I have a support system. Like, no one's, you know, throwing me into the wild here. It's all good. So it was, I think part of the fear was mostly just like the rush that it felt like, because they did kind of shorten our semester so that we could graduate a little bit earlier to help us get our transcripts posted earlier and all that just a little bit quicker so we could take our NCLEX faster and things like that. So it just kind of felt like I was being rushed out the door, and I don't do well feeling rushed. So that's what was super scary, but I wasn't super nervous about the pandemic or anything like that. It was more just the fear of like, I have to be a grown-up really, really quickly, like graduation, I thought I had more time, but we're past that now.